Hey everybody, I think we're doing a close-up. It's, what is it? It's Tuesday, it's the 24th of January in the year 2023. Still no jetpack. And we're here in the annex for probably the last time with our little mom cat Thimble and her kittens. I got Beryl right here snuggled up in my lap. I opened the window for some fresh air. I'm going to close it again as soon as Mom's done looking out it because it is cold. You can see all the snow and frost out there. I wasn't entirely prepared to do this little close-up. I didn't think it was going to work. I was just trying it to see if it was going to go, and it did. So, let's see. I've got a bunch of new stuff to talk about, though. First off, I said the last close-up that we're going to do from the annex, and that's probably true. Since I've just about got the new room ready for them downstairs, I expect they're going to move sometime today. That's the plan anyway. Oh, here we go. Now I can close the window. So I'm pretty sure they're going to move today. It probably won't take me too long. Probably maybe this afternoon, maybe even earlier than that, depending on how much work I can get done. Let's see. Little Thimble here continues to be a spicy mom cat, especially first thing in the morning. She's super spicy, and I don't know if that's just because she's like me and doesn't want to deal with me or anybody before her coffee, or if it's just because that's when I come in and I'm, immediately moving around the room and emptying the litter boxes and taking away last night's food. Hard to say which one of those things is the thing she has the issue with, but some of you might have seen that she was extra spicy this morning, and now I came in here to sort of hang out with her after I've had my first coffee and she had breakfast to show everybody that we're still friends. And she is a big old sweetheart. So she's actually the biggest news of the day. The kittens are progressing very well. They're all doing pretty good on the litter box, which was the thing we wanted before they moved. There was a poop out of place a couple days ago, and, they still might be peeing once in a while in the wrong spot, but we'll figure that out. It'll actually be easier to tell what's going on if we have them in the other room anyway. I think they've just about got it, though. They've been very responsible about the litter box overall. So not too much news about them except that they're wonderful, active, healthy little kitten babies that we should weigh today during the close-up, by the way. That would be a good idea. It's been a few days since we've done that. They have each been taking some spa time. I'm reluctant to take all three of them at the same time to the spa because we'd like to keep kittens on the stream 24 hours a day for all of you to watch. And also because I think, in general, it does them more good to go to the spa individually and get kind of individually socialized, too, so they don't just play with each other. They're kind of forced to deal with me and DJ. But there's a good chance that we will be taking them to the spa in groups of 3 before long, because there's a chance, anyway, that this coming Saturday, this weekend, we may be getting our next new mom cat, which is another reason to move these kids out of this room today. And then we've got the rest of the week to clean it up for them, for the new mom, anyway. On that note, there was something. New mom, clean the room, move them out, Saturday. Boy, there was something there, and I haven't got it now. Oh, no, I do know what it was. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 25th, and that will be us taking these kittens to the vet for their distemper, their first checkup and their first distemper vaccine. So that's tomorrow, which means that for a big chunk of the middle of the day tomorrow, they will be gone. There won't be any kittens at this so-called academy. But we'll put the faculty on while we're gone, and hopefully there'll just be some sleeping adult cats to watch during that time. I expect they're going to do just fine at the vet, and while we're there, I will try to remember to schedule a spay for our spicy mom, because she's ready for that. So that's all going to happen tomorrow. Another big thing about tomorrow, of course, is that tomorrow is, she wants me to open the window again, I think. Tomorrow is the first time that we are going to get to see Dr. Katz at her new office, which she presumably moved into just this week. So, in fact, I think tomorrow's the first day that she's open at the new location, which means I'm going to have to make sure I know where it is. I'm going to have to look it up on the internet because I actually don't have the slightest idea where it is. But yeah, we get to go see her at the new office. I'm so excited. I saw the walkthrough on her website, and it's beautiful. And I'm sure things will be a little bit of chaos since it's you've just moved into the new place. You can't expect everything to be fine, but it's a simple visit. It's a simple checkup and some simple vaccines. So we're not going to be asking her to do anything too difficult. That should work out no matter how chaotic it is. So that is the news as far as everything else goes. I'm pretty sure that's all of it. But I wanted to talk to you mostly about Thimble and her spiciness and what we've been doing. And I don't entirely know what to say about it there because she is, like I said, she's still pretty spicy. She still wants to sort of be hissy and attack and hot and cold, though. She never does that without immediately sort of turning around and rubbing on me and trying to be friendly, too. So it's a little bit of a mystery still, but we've been sort of building up theories, and the more that we get to see her do, the more sort of data points that we have to work into that theory, and maybe the more accurate we can eventually be about it. So the interesting thing that we've been doing lately, I brought this empty oats bucket in here, and I was trying to get them to go in and get their toy out of it, or to try to figure out how to get their toy out. That's always a fun game. So anyway, one thing that we've been doing with Thimble lately is letting her out of the room for various things, and mostly wearing her harness. Yesterday I brought her over to my office without a harness, and when she goes to the spa and there's no faculty there, she goes without a harness, and she's fine with that. She is not ever very spicy when she's out of the room. So that's maybe a data point, but it also may just be unfamiliarity. She didn't really... I feel like she didn't start that spice here. And by the way, if you don't know, I keep saying spice when I mean that she's sort of aggressive. But I think it sounds more fun to say spicy, and aggressive never sounds like the right word anyway. So spice just works for me. Anyway, so the first few days that she was here, she wasn't that spicy either. So some of it might just be familiarity, and it might be that once she feels like she owns the house, that starts to change. It'll be interesting to see. Or, little Beryl here just wants to snuggle with me, and now that I don't have a lap, she had to move into this little pocket of my shirt. Anyway, so that might be the case. Who knows? We're going to find out. I think that the move today is going to be very informative as far as that goes. But what I wanted to say that's super cool is the rest of the time when I let her out of the room, I have been putting her harness on her to make sure that I can control the situation if anything goes out of control, and letting her go walk around where the faculty is, and letting her meet the other cats and wander the house, always keeping a very close eye on, literally a short leash on her. In fact, I put a leash on the harness. So literally... And she's been doing great, actually. The first day she hissed at Maggie just for looking at her from across the room, and Maggie was very respectful and backed right off, which is exactly what you would want. But as of last night, I brought her downstairs to the kitchen for a long time, and she just sat there, and every single one of the faculty came to visit. It was Custard that was out, not Logan, so she didn't get to see him, but all the rest came to look at her. They were all four of them sitting around her, in a big circle, all keeping their distance pretty respectfully, but she was fine with it. Not a single concern, not a single growl, not a single hiss. In fact, she took a nap while they were all circled around her. So that's a real good sign of comfort, in my opinion, and a real good sign that I could almost feel like I could trust her and just take the harness off and let her run around the house. I'm not, of course, ready to do that yet. But I'm really getting that feeling that I could. I've been fooled before, by the way. I want to say that. I've had some mom cats that really lulled me into a false sense of security, and then you let them out without any sort of protection, and they immediately run after one of the faculty. So I don't want to have a repeat of that. I'm going to be extra cautious, but I really have some good feelings about her with the other cats, which is great. Not only that, I said that they were all kind of circled around her and respectfully maintaining their distance, but also Maggie and Custard, yes, Maggie and Custard and Eddie all came by in turns and sniffed her up close, and she was fine with that too. Towards the end, there was a moment when she either growled at Eddie or Eddie growled at her, hissed. I don't know which one did the hissing because I didn't see it directly, but it was because she was getting right up in his face. So I don't know which one made the noise about it, but there was just that little moment, and it wasn't, they both sat right back down next to each other, and nothing. So again, pretty good interaction. A little hiss is nothing. It just means back off, and if they do back off, that's fine. It's exactly the kind of interaction that you would want. So yeah, I think, all things considered, she's doing extremely well when it comes to meeting the other cats and potentially getting house privileges where she gets to wander the house as much as she wants. And if I'm honest, I honestly think that one of the major components to her spiciness is just being cooped up in this room. So having that access to the house may make a big difference in her attitude. It may, or it may not. I mean, who knows? This is all just theory. And a lot of it founded on very little evidence so far. I do think there's a number of components. I do think that one of the things is sort of being cooped up in this room. I also think another thing is being defensive of her what she considers to be her zone. So I feel like a lot of her spiciness is, she picks specific places in the room, too, that are especially like, don't go there. And that's varied, by the way. I think it's kind of based on where the kittens have spent most of their time, but it's not as direct as where the kittens are, because she'll defend those places when the kittens aren't in it, and she'll not defend the kittens. It's not about the kittens. I think it's just about what she considers to be her spot. So sometimes you've seen her sort of defend the beanbag chair when I want to sit in it, and she acts like she doesn't want me to sit in it. This morning, she was especially, and the last couple of days, she's been especially concerned with the cage. If I go near the cage that the kittens spend most of their time now sitting in the little hammock in, that's what kind of set her off this morning more than anything else. And I've seen her be the same way about the drawers, too. When she was getting in the drawers on the regular basis, she kind of thought they were hers, and she didn't want me to get in there. I say she didn't want me to. Who knows what she wants? I don't think even she knows what she wants, but that would be something that would sort of trigger a spicy attack. It's just easier to use that language. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on things, though, and we're kind of working those theories and trying to find the evidence that would disconfirm them as well. Again, as things change, we'll see. It'll be really interesting when the move happens. That's going to introduce a lot of new factors and eliminate a lot of factors, too. Some people have suggested that maybe this is the room where she gave birth, so it's kind of like the birthing box. The whole room is kind of like a giant birthing box for her, and maybe if we just... maybe it's just that same instinct that has mom cats moving their kittens out of the box after a few days. Could be that exact same instinct that has her being spicy about still being in the quote-unquote birthing box here. And maybe if we move her downstairs, she'd just have a completely different attitude. I don't think that's the case, but it's certainly something that could happen. So it'll be something to keep an eye out for. So what else can I say about her behavior and how hopeful I am? Guess not too much at this point. Nothing that's not just pure speculation, but what I can say for sure is that I'm really excited to see what happens next, and that she's a sweet mom. She can be very spicy, but once you've learned to sort of navigate that, it's like in The Princess Bride when they go to the swamp and he says, now that I've got it figured out, it's not such a bad place. We could build a little cottage here, and I think it's kind of like that. Once you got her figured out, she's pretty awesome. Actually, she's a great, snuggly, friendly, warm cat. She was in my office yesterday, and she just spent time wanting to either snuggle with me or just go sit and watch me. Real cool, as long as, she just gets to kind of be a cat with you. Oh, that reminds me, one thing that I wanted to say about... So, first off... Okay, two things I need to say. First, Eileen says, has she ever been spicy towards DJ? And the real quick answer to that is yes. And I'll come back around and talk more about that. But yes, DJ gets the spice too. So it's not about that. But I was going to say, oh boy, I think I lost it already. Yesterday, my office, hanging out. Well, that's all right. Anyway, it'll either come back to me or it won't. But yeah. So about DJ, I think that DJ gets away without the spice a little more often because she doesn't have to come in and take care of the things that I do. I think a lot of times I come in first thing in the morning, I want to pick up the food and empty the litter box, and both of those are activities that are going to set her off. DJ comes in, she usually doesn't come in first thing in the morning, she usually doesn't come in until well after breakfast when mom's a little calmer, and she doesn't have to move around, pick up kittens, or empty the litter box. She can just sit down and wait for things to come to her, which is another thing I know is very good for our mom cat, Thimble, is if things come to her, if you're sitting around and not moving and just sitting down, she very rarely gets spicy about that. So DJ has that extra, privilege of not having to sort of antagonize the cat. But if DJ does get up and starts, for instance, sweeping the floor, she likes to do sometimes, then yes, she gets the spice too. And you might even hear me make fun of DJ for it because initially DJ was like, you just need to slow down. If you just move slow around her, she's going to be fine. You just need to slow down. She's always telling me to slow down. And then it was after that DJ was moving as slow as she could, and she still got some spice. And ever since then, I've been telling her to slow down. Just slow down, DJ. Slow down. So you might hear me making fun of her that way. Anyway, let's weigh these kittens before I forget to do that. And maybe while we're weighing them, whatever I was going to say about her being out of the room and so sweet will come back to me. Oh, I think what it was is that she wants to follow me around. That's probably what I was going to say. Hang on, I don't have enough hands for all this. I'm sorry, Beryl. I got to put you down for a sec. Sit right there. Just 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, she wants to follow me around. So I do think that the sort of, just wanting to know, the separation anxiety or wanting to know that I'm not about to leave is also a big part of it. She usually does want to get spicy or attack me when I head for the door. And I do think it's just a misplaced effort to say, stay here. But of course, I can't. I think going is probably, well, I don't know. I don't know actually how to train her not to do that. So I've been trying a lot of different things. None of them are working yet, so I can't say that I know what to do. But I do think that that's a factor, and I think that it was really cute last night that for instance, we were hanging out in the living room. I'm having some real focus issues. I'm going to wipe the camera again. I hope it doesn't make too much noise. Anyway, we were hanging out last night in the living room. And as we're hanging out in the living room, she was just completely cool with all the faculty being all there around her and me sitting there eating my dinner, and she's just walking around a little bit and sitting in various spots and taking a nap and closing her eyes with the faculty there and just being super chill. And then when I got up and left the room, she almost instantly had to get up and follow me to make sure she could keep an eye on me or at least be in the same space, which is a common thing for cats to want to do, and made me feel like, yeah, she really does want to just kind of make sure that she's in the same room with me at least, And that might be a part of it, for real. Who knows? All right, here we go. We're going to set little Beryl down on this is Beryl, the oldest kitten, the one that was born first. And the lightest, though, the smallest, or has been. Today, Beryl was 23.6. That seems a little bit light after how long it's been since the last weigh-in. But first off, I don't necessarily remember. And secondly, it is weaning time, so we do expect their weight gains to be a little bit lighter for the last week or two. So that might set them back a bit. But they're all healthy. You can tell that. I focus. Come on, camera. Why aren't you working with me here? I think some of it's this case. I really have to take this case off. It's such a cool phone case. It's one of these new ones that's like a magnetic clamshell, and it's got real glass on the front, and it's got real glass back too. So it's exactly like just having a phone. It feels like a phone that doesn't even have a case on it, which is really cool, except for the problem of the focus and the problem that it's all glass. People, we all make all these phones now out of glass, and they're so slick. You can't hold that. It just flies right out of your hand at every opportunity. So I do need to switch it back to a silicone or some case that's easier to get a grip on. Anyway, enough about the phone case. That was Beryl, and hopefully somebody took note of that weight because I've already forgotten what it was. Next up, we're going to want Silo, and this is a long reach for me to try to get all the way back in there from here. But there we go, little Silo. Come with me. See, she's kind of keeping an eye on me, but this morning she would have rushed over there to attack me just for having the gall to put my arm into the cage, and now she's a little calmer. So I think there's a number of factors that come together. There we go. Sit right there. Silo. Silo, buddy. This is the boy. Silo, 26.9. That's good, buddy. Here, look at me. Look at the camera. Silo. You can see his markings are starting to get even more distinct. Hi, buddy. Hi. Silo, by the way, of the three of them, is the biggest scaredy cat of the group. He's the one that when I carry them to the bedroom, he's the one that's got to cling on for dear life because I'm picking him up and carrying him. And if there's an unexpected noise or something, he is the first one to go running and hide somewhere, where the girls are just a little bit more bold around new noises and new things that they don't expect. Of course, they're all kittens, and they all are a little bit scared of things that they don't expect. But Silo here is, he's the scaredy boy. No, it's cute. I think it's cute, especially for a boy with two sisters. He wants his two big sisters to protect him. All right, so that's Silo. That's number 2. And then the third and final kitten is his sister, twin Cistern. I say twin, but she's really got a different kind of marking. He's more of the classic tabby, not clearly so, but he's along that genetic line where she is more of a mackerel tabby like her mom, a lot more clearly so. I think you can see that. So let's take little Cistern and put her down here for a second. Oh, wow, she weighs more than he does now, too? Is that right? 28.4? They've always been in the same neighborhood, though. It's always been these two as the heavier ones and Beryl's the lighter one. Still the case. And she's still got that sort of, it's not quite a sad face anymore, but now it's this like super inquisitive face, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's so cute. Oh, you want to stand up and take a look at the camera? Okay, hi. Hi. Well, yes, if you're looking over the camera, though, the camera can't see how cute you are. So that's the girl little Cistern. And when it comes to spa time, they are all just the sweetest thing. Most of what they do in the spa is just snuggle up. And they are big bed snugglers. Also, DJ is a big fan of these kittens because most of the kittens, when they come to the bedroom, by the time they have spa time, they're so sort of adjusted to me that they hardly spend any time snuggling with DJ. If I'm there too, then they'll almost always choose to come over and snuggle with me instead of her. But the rare exceptions are the ones that DJ loves the most, and all three of these kittens seem like they would rather snuggle with her than with me most of the time, and she is so happy about that. I can't even tell you guys how special that is for her. So she's a big fan of all three of these kittens. It was Beryl that was her favorite because Beryl was the first one to sort of start acting that way, but now that all three do, I'm not even sure if Beryl's her favorite anymore. Probably is, though. Beryl's such a cutie pie. Little Cistern here is definitely a sweetheart as well. Yeah, no, Andrea Chu, no, we're not keeping any of them, though. We can't foster fail. We still have a few too many cats of our own, so definitely getting everybody adopted out is still the order of the day. Besides that, we got a free enough bandwidth to get a dog in here, don't we? I think so. And adopting more cats is definitely not working towards that goal. Hey, you're really stuck on me. You got some Klingon going on there. How do you even twist like that? Your head and your feet are going completely opposite directions. She is so soft. Oh my goodness. I wish you guys could pet these kittens through the internet. Oh, that's good. That's a lot of restraint there. That's good. Okay, no, but don't keep going at it. We don't need to be little finger biters. Yeah, cookie cat lover. Maybe somebody could help with that bandwidth by taking custard. Yeah, definitely not. Is that Jimmy, by the way, in disguise? Jimmy D. That's Jimmy D of the Wednesday with Winnie and Gary show. That's, by the way, highly recommended here on YouTube. Former alumni. And he's always joking about taking custard. I say joking. I don't know. Maybe a little more serious. All right. Well, hey, look, that was basically it. I'm going to go and start getting their room ready so we can make that big move today. And I'm going to get right to it. So thank you guys so much for joining me, for watching these kittens, and for listening to me ramble about Thimble and how she is mostly. I feel like she's a great cat that's going to be great for the right person, and hopefully find the right adopter for her. I know everybody has written to tell me and told me on Discord that they have spicy cats that are like that, and they just love them. You know, once you get used to their quirks. Again, it's like the, what is it, the fire swamp in, I forget what they called the swamp in, anyway, she's just like that. You know, she's got a little bit of danger to her, but once you start to understand how it is, she's a sweet and charming place to be. And rodents of unusual size, I don't believe they exist.